Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Crunch time. 6 rounds left in the championship. Both championships are on the line at this point. This is round 18 of your iRacing Grand Prix Tour, and it is absolutely one of the most incredible runs of form to get right into perspective. You've got 4 drivers, all with a shot of proclaiming themselves as the best. Jordan Gronkowski, Jacob Reed, Anthony Cat, Marcel Fassbender, and the Circuit de Nevers Magny Cours is a blast from a historic past. Welcome to SimSpeed TV and coverage of this incredible series. My name is Jake Sperry. Jay Kennedy is alongside me for the ride today. Jay, a track which, just like, I would say, this championship, and one particular driver in this championship is one that's completely out of the blue. This is one of the most unique circuits in the fact that it's in the middle of the countryside, away from any major city.
Helps if I turn my microphone on. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, this is a brilliant track, and I didn't realize how much I'd missed this track being in the real-world schedule until I saw it make its appearance in iRacing. I thought this was one of the best tracks back in the day, and I wish that we still ran there now. As you say, right in the middle of nowhere, basically, in France. There's not many places that are middle of nowhere in France, but this is one. And zoom on in, right into the middle. It is a very, very cool track. Lots of unique corner types, which I think is the thing that provides the challenge for drivers. You've got hairpins, you've got long sweeping corners, you've got a really, really technical chicane to end the lap, with the difficulty part of that chicane being that the finish line is very, very close. So if you get that chicane wrong, you've really got to be aggressive on the brakes to make sure you do not get one of those nasty slowdown penalties. We're going to see a lot of them throughout this race. This is going to be a very, very cool race, a technical race, as you said. I think it's going to really sort the challengers and the contenders out in this championship, as we only got, 5 or 6 rounds to go. So it's going to be a very, very interesting one.
This track folds upon itself so much, and the run from Adelaide over to Chateau d'Eau is probably one of the most incredible sections of track that you will have the opportunity to go and drive on the iRacing service. This is a treat of a high downforce spectacle that we're going to be seeing here today, and there'll be a number of ways to get things sorted, and there are your DRS zones. Qualifying has already booked itself as complete. So we'll have the opportunity to head over to the starting grid and how they stack up. And there are a few surprises here today. Connor Pooler has put the car on pole position, a 1:14.727. Tobias Saal will be alongside on the front row for company. Ken Nielsen with a stellar qualifying starts third, with Jacob Reed, who has won 4 of the last 5 races. He goes from 4th place. Walter Luck starts 5th. Timothy Vaughan will be going from 6th position. And Jordan Gronkowski, the SimSpeed Championship leader, is 7th with Jason Green in 8th position. 9th belongs to Dan Piazza with Florian Kammeyer rounding out the top 10, nearly a second back in terms of time. A blast from the past as Nico Veronen will start in 11th and Thomas Knoll in 12th position. It's going to be Morgan Sohm, who's a little bit down the order, in 13th. He's had a podium so far this season with Adam Barta in 14th. Anthony Catt, well disappointed with qualifying, and it's a star-studded 8th row of the grid as Marcel Fassbender also struggles with his qualifying effort. William Morris, Eduardo Rodis will be on row number 8, just the 19 drivers here for this, the way it's split. Alexis Morichon will be at the back in that 19th position. A quick look at the championship here, and this is your SimSpeed championship. Top 4 fighting for the championship, split J by 29 points.
Yeah, not much in it. It's only basically a race win and a little bit more separating those guys. But have a look at the iRacing championship. After this many rounds, only have 10 points in it for the championship at the top. That is incredible. That is so cool to see. We're not going to know a champion until we get right to the end of this series.
No, we're absolutely not. And I think that is going to be the most telling thing. Everybody now looking to set themselves up. It is a fast and technical run through the Grand Curb, over through Estoril up to Adelaide, which will be the first place to make passes. Remember, they do not have the DRS, the drag reduction system, until lap 3 of this race. It's 70 laps. 2 tyres must be used at least of different compounds. This is where everything's got to set itself up. Green flag in the air, 70 laps. Here, Magny Cours starts now. It's a great start by Connor Pooler, who'll be able to get himself away and get himself onto a nice start. Everybody lines themselves up now, looking for a bit of an angle here. Jacob Reed's going to lose out one because Walter Lux is trying to attack, but around the outside, he's going to try and hold the long drag up going through. Gronkowski almost making contact and trying to thread the needle. There's no room.
Horrible start, though, from Timothy Vaughan. Remember, he started right up the front. He's already back to 9th. He's struggled there, but we're going to get through their hairpin okay. It looks like we might. Great job.
It looks like we will. And Jay, that hairpin Adelaide is probably the tightest hairpin they've got to navigate through all season long.
Yeah, it's deceptively long as well. So it just continues and keeps going. And you think you can finally get your foot on the throttle. And it's got a little bit more left in it. So very, very tough to get through. But well done by the whole field and getting this far on this lap. I don't think we've had as clean a first lap all season long. This is one of my favourite sections, though. Up the hill through the second chicane now.
Oh, car off.
Back. Yeah, that's Jason Green running wide. Got it together.
Yeah,
though.
on the Redwall soft compound tyres. 3 drivers have started on the softs. It's Green, it's Pooler, and it's Kent Nielsen. William Morris has started on the Whitewall hard compound tyre. Only driver to do so. Everybody else is starting this race on a medium.
Yeah, we haven't really got too much information. Oh, Jason Green, wow, that's not the track over there. There's definitely some track limits breached there, and he'll have to slow down. We didn't get any data in regards to hard tyres, so that's how much of a surprise it is. Most drivers will go for 1 run on the medium and 2 runs on the soft, 2 pit stop race, but I mean, if you're starting at the back of the field, you do have to try something different, and that's obviously what's happening here with William Morris, Hammeyer, and Jason Green. Green's been aggressive in this race, not necessarily in the right way.
No, he's gone the wrong way. He's been too aggressive off of the start as Marcel Fassbender was almost pushed into the grass there with Thomas Knoll. He now gets ahead and has moved up now, his 4th position already in this one. Morgan Sohn has also had an incredible start. He's gained 5 places off of the get-go.
Yeah, great job from Sohn to get up as far forward, taking advantage of a little bit of sluggishness in that middle part of the field at the start. And as I said, like Timothy Vaughan, who has not had the best start. He's down a couple of spots, started 6th, back to 9th. So there's been a lot of shuffling in the field so far, but one driver has absolutely blitzed the field. It's taken the Jordan Gronkowski strategy and running with it. Connor Pooler out to a nearly 2-second advantage.
Yeah, he's really done well off the course of his qualifying. He's trying to build a gap now. DRS enabled, and he's already outside of 1 second at this moment. Looks like Timothy Vaughan has gone around then at the final chicane. He's had to give back all that time. But you're seeing now on board with Jacob Reed, who has been in scintillating form. Non-factor in the championship, we thought, after Silverstone. But in his last 6 races, first, DNS, first, second and first.
Yeah, he's been absolutely brilliant. You saw the advantage of DRS there too. It is very, very powerful at this circuit. They're going to tuck back in the line through the fast chicane. But that was a bit messy there between those 3 through the hairpin. It almost ended in tears.
Yeah, the Nürburgring chicane, you have to be committed when you reach that section. 180 degrees is not really an overtaking place, but up to the Imola chicane now. Here, the second of the right and the left, testing the grip. Can you open up the angle at Chateau d'Eau? What's really telling about these Mercedes W13E performances is how long they are. This is Timothy Vaughan's spin, just too eager on the throttle.
Did a good job to keep it out of the wall there. Very, very easily could have ended in tears for him. We did also see there was another incident as well. I think Rochon's had a moment as well, not long after that. But fastest lap of the race for Conor Paula, no surprise considering the pace he's got at the front.
Yep, and Kent Nielsen on the soft has finally released against Tobias Saal. He's made that pass. It shows you how difficult it is to make a move. There is the DRS, and the flap wide open for number one, Jacob Reed, the pro stripe, who is there in fourth position, with Lux in fifth, with Gronkowski just behind him in sixth position. Everything is teetering in terms of this championship. They come into today as, whoa, Jason Green goes straight on. He outbrakes himself as Piazza and Sohm race out for position. Look at Jason Green struggle to try and get back going again. Sohm on the outside has got the move done by Nürburgring.
Jump from Sohm, that's just more positions for him. The only issue with that overtake is it's taken a little bit of time to get done, and they've lost the back of Jordan Gronkowski ahead. So while it's great that they got through there for Sohm, he's now lost so much ground, and the woes continue for Jason Green. He's finally got going again, but he's dropped to the last running car. That's not good on the softs.
Yeah, he's really not loving it here, and it's very telling that he's got troubles. Oh my goodness me! Contact then, second and third, and off the road goes Kent Nielsen. Tobias Saal immediately gets on the radio, and that just shows you how aggressive everyone wants to be, trying to find those moves, and Saal, incensed because of that, threw the right-hander. It was a case where Kent Nielsen, watch this as they go through. This angle's not going to show it justice. He almost forces Tobias Saal off the track, and Saal gives him a comeuppance.
Yeah, and I did notice as well, Tobias Saal's front wing did get a bit of damage from that, so it's going to hurt Tobias come later on in the race. See there, Nielsen just runs him almost out of road. Tobias Saal was there, said, no way, you're not stealing my spot.
Yeah, that defence was not on there by Kent Nielsen. You always have to leave a car one car width availability of racing. This isn't like Formula One where effectively the track limits are defined as the racing line, and often that's what gets overshadowed in terms of how drivers go about and conduct their racing acumen out there around racing overall. They get influenced by what they see. I would say in iRacing they've got a fantastic system in place which is built on respect.
Yeah, and you can see the drivers that have got it and who haven't. Gronkowski, oh, that's messy.
And as that happens, Tobias Saal has jumped in the pits, I presume, with the front wing damage, so he's going to have to get off that medium tyre quickly and see what he does. It's a case of everybody is jumping in and around to try and go through, and oh, it's going to be interesting. He's going to get back out and away again. Got to go back, though, to the likes of Marcel Fassbender and co. Soft tyres go on, but you've got Walter Lux, you've got Dan Piazza there. Everybody is trying to find an angle here, and this is a great recovery by Marcel Fassbender. He's already up into 8th place, and he gets tangled, and around he goes.
Oh, no. That's on you, Sperry. That's commentator's curse and a half. Talking about how he was going there. Fassbender. I'll tell you what, this isn't the first time all season we've seen him in trouble either. He's found himself in amongst it all season long. Usually for the good, but not for the good tonight. This hasn't ended very, very well for him. Got a fair bit of damage. Also seen Dan Piazza as well as out of the race. He's had damage too.
It was Piazza and Fassbender who came together, and it's all down to Piazza here. Watch this. He's on the outside. He's trying to fight for the power. I think he flicks it into first gear and up on the power. Nowhere to go. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. That is the end of that for Marcel Fassbender. And then there is Piazza going into next section. He takes a tap. Front wing absolutely clatters off the car, and he decides to park that one, and Piazza's race over and done with in the blink of an eye. One thing you have to say, this track is not necessarily built for this era of car. This is, when you look at the cars right now, they're about a third longer from when they used to race this, about 15 years ago, as Gronkowski has a little huge search up the inside. He's going to go too deep. Soam's going to go back through. So too Walter Lux. But these cars are so huge, it's making overtaking so difficult.
Well, not only are they longer, they're also a bit wider as well. So the amount of lanes wide that we can see the racing is that there's just enough for too wide in a lot of places. And by just, we mean just. They're pretty much touching if they do go too wide. You see there, a little bit of a moment there for Radius and Timothy Vaughan in his continuing drop down the field. Go back to 12th position. That's not gone well for him off the race start. He didn't have the best start, but he's just continuing to drop positions. And saying that, is that tactical? Is he deciding I might just drop back a few positions and come through when I get onto the soft tyre later on?
Well, it's going to be about when he decides to get off of the medium, because we are now on lap 8 here of 70. Connor Pooler with the purple check mark next to his name, which is the fastest lap bonus point, which he has currently in his back pocket. Jacob Reed in second is 6 seconds down the road at this moment, with Kent Nielsen a further 3 seconds back of that. What a run from Morgan Soam. He's up 9 places already in this one, as here comes the little search for the move then at the inside. That's Thomas Knoll losing out then to Anthony Catt, who started 15th and is up to 7th place as Kamai has his race.
Yeah, Kamai's just lost a spot there to Vaughan. Now
Lost
he's
2
back.
spots.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, you're right. He has. So he's back to 12th now. So a little bit of ground you just saw there too. The MotoGP long lap through that corner there. MotoGP still racing here. They raced here this year? Raced here last year, I remember that.
Yeah, I think it was more that they were racing earlier on. It might be something more that World Superbikes maybe tackle here more than anything else.
Yes, you're right, you're right. I knew I'd watched motorbike racing at a high level here earlier. Brain's still waking up, not enough caffeine yet, Sperry.
Yeah, here we go then through that final Lycée chicane, but we look further forward then through the Grand Curve and along right of Estoril. Walter Lux in 5th position. The Austrian is absolutely pushing.
Soam just was like he had a turbo boost there the way he took off once he got the power down, but look at the DRS helping Lux, not quite enough left in the straight. And just tucked back into line, but that's very, very different how the cars are set up. You look at how fast Soam is able to get the power down out of corner exit, but he just doesn't have the top speed. So he's obviously going for a different downforce. I heard medium and high downforce likely used from both. Both those downforce packages would be used, but wondering if that's what we're seeing here. Soam using a high and Lux using a medium, because corner exit looks so much stronger for Soam, but then he's just got nothing by the time they get to the end of the straights.
There's also the matter of fact that you've got DRS and also on top of that, clean air in front of Morgan Soam that's giving him a little bit of help out there in terms of this race. This is a crucial matter of fact here, this phase, lap 10 of 70, because they're always looking to try and settle down. In that medium tyre, in an ideal world, we're thinking medium soft is the strategy of choice here today. You're expecting them to go another 20 laps on this set at the bare minimum.
Yeah, 20 would be about right. What I've seen and read was around 35 laps for the medium. Here comes inside Walter Lux, and going to get it done. Or is he?
No, he's not.
Right alongside at the moment.
And now descending back towards the Nürburgring chicane. Of course, when you've got high downforce, Morgan Soam has, you can absolutely with confidence hang that around the outside, and it's so committed, but he's gone wide at the 180 degree left hand bend, which opens back up a chance, but it looks like he just about got away with it there compared to Walter Lux.
He was a little bit lucky there, wasn't he? Because that could have ended in losing a spot, and I wouldn't have been surprised if Gronkowski was able to get through as well if he did lose the 1. They've quickly turned into 2, but he's done a good job to hold on. Interesting thing is they've all on the medium tyre in this group as well, so they're all on similar strategies, but you can see that Soam is probably pushing a little bit harder out of the 3, so he might lose that tyre life. Don't forget too, Gronkowski was at the lead of this group not that long ago as well after that mistake at the final corner.
Yeah, it is very telling, the mistakes that have been there. Uncharacteristic of late for Jordan Gronkowski. So too, I want to point out Marcel Fassbender's form as he's gone through over the last few races. His last 6 have been 7th, 8th, non-finish, 2nd, 10th, 11th. That is why he is almost 1 race win behind in the championship. He was in full control earlier on this season.
He was. It was his to lose at one point, wasn't it? He was doing such a good job, and now he's dropped back through the field. It's like he's had a little bit of a form slump in that. Has he not been committing as much as he once did? Has real life got in the way? Has he just not found something with the car recently? It's hard to know, but
Luck.
yeah, well, he's had none of that as well. The only luck he's had has been bad luck.
No, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. That's sort of been the way that he's been playing about this season in terms of the second half. As we take a look then at the move, which was conducted by Walter Lux. You can see Gronkowski was searching Oh, that would have done it. Jordan Gronkowski losing the front wing over the back of Morgan Soam, and he will definitely go straight on into the pits here at the end of lap 11.
Changes the strategy, just as we were talking about them all being on the same strategy. Also in Marcel Fassbender, so he's struggling as well. So, well, we're seeing a lot of drivers trying to, or almost forced into doing something alternate here. Will we see them go to the softs? Will they go to another medium? As Timothy Vaughan, his recovery back through the field is going to get him back almost to where he started. Now back up into 7th position with a nice pass there on Thomas Knoll.
Yeah, that's a really nice pass, and that will get them back off and away again. Gronkowski has gone to the hard compound tyre.
It's a very big surprise. Fassbender's gone out on a soft. So this is going to be great to see strategy.
Do you think Gronk can go 58 laps on a set of the hard compound tyres?
I'm guessing that his thinking is I'm going to have to try. It's the only thing I can do to get back into the race.
Of course, he will have to lose time in comparison to those around as he's made his stop of effectively 1 stop to those at the front of the field, and those he was there and around as wide then through the Lycée section, the final complex on this track, goes Timothy Vaughan, very nearly clattering into the back of Anthony Catt. This is a very tough final chicane out here on this circuit. The end to this lap is difficult. We've got more drivers in, though. Jason Green and Alexi Morachon are both in the pits.
And Morachon, he come in on softs. He's leaving on softs. I'm pretty sure he was already on softs. Jason Green also, you know, as you say, but he's getting some damage fixed as well. So actually retiring the car.
It's terminal then for him.
Yeah.
And that is a big shame for Jason Green, who has really struggled here this season, but has been in and around almost everything. Now that is Morgan Soam back through on Walter Lux. So Lux couldn't stay away for long, and that was a mistake at the 180.
Yeah, big mistake too. He's run wide and almost did the motorbike long lap.
The one thing you...
Here you go.
Yeah, the one thing you often find in terms of that 180 section is that it's not a straight braking zone after an immediately difficult chicane. And especially when it's such a late apex into that section as well, it is a deceptively tough corner for it being flat.
I think the other part too is that this track draws you in to try and push the braking zones a little bit more each and every time. Because you'll brake at 1.1 lap and you feel confident, okay, maybe I can get another 2-3 meters before I brake. There goes Lux through with the DRS. I'll tell you what, Soam's coming back.
Sold him with late brakes. Oh, that's incredible stuff, Jay.
Brilliant driving there to hold the position. What I was about to say is that the track drags you in because you can commit so much and you feel like you've pulled up the corner so well. But you fail to take in that your exit from the previous corners played such a big impact. So it does draw you in to outbrake yourself quite regularly. We've seen it in all sorts of series at this track. Lux can't get through there. Tuck back in. Have to wait to the final corner.
Yeah, falls back into rank and file, heading to Chateau d'Eau. Marcel Fassbender sets the fastest lap of the race, but because he's outside of the top 10 right now, there'll be no bonus point for the SimSpeed Championship if he stays where he is. Lap 15 of 70, we are on at the moment as these two race about for 4th and 5th position through the Lycée chicane to end the lap and go on to their 15th attempt as they go forward. It's all about patience and scoring what you can. That has never been more personified than Anthony Catt, who finds himself in 7th position. He's been the epitome of consistency all season long, Jay, to the point where Anthony Catt has not finished in 2nd or 1st this season. He's got 4 third-place finishes.
The surprising thing for me is Walter Lux gets through again with the DRS, able to defend the position this time and hold on. The surprising thing for me with Anthony Catt is every race this season so far, he's pretty much pulled the surprising strategy and done something different to every other driver in the field. Today, his surprise is that he's done the same as almost everybody in the field. So how is he going to play that strategy game?
Sometimes the most unpredictable thing is to do the most predictable thing when you are so unpredictable. As Soam again, what a move! Oh, incredible! He absolutely blitzes a pass at Imola. Walter Lux is still staring at it.
I think Lux was expecting that at all. Because it's not a place that you normally see overtakes made, but that's come from another mistake from Walter Lux at the same corner through the hairpin. Okay at the approach, okay at the start, but runs it wide at the outside. And have a look, that higher downforce, that more traction, that more drive, and through goes through around the outside and just chops the nose off. I think Walter Lux knew that it was coming. You're going to be able to get back by. This is a great battle here between these two.
Yeah, he harvests a bit of the energy recovery system. You could see the rain light there flashing on the back to indicate I'm not at 100% power. And as such, he has to sit and wait and realise that he's not got too much that he can do about that. And he'll have to play the patience card through the twisty section of circuit. Do want to point out, though, Connor Pooler here is dropping a bit of time here to Jacob Reed. That gap was up as high as 7 seconds in this race. It's now down to 5.6 at this moment, and I think it's because Connor Pooler's soft tyres are starting to degrade a little bit. I wonder if he's trying to reach lap 20 before he dives in and goes on to make his stop.
Yeah, well, that would make sense. If he can get to 20, then he'd do another 20 on another set of softs and do 30 on the medium. The medium can do about 35, so if he pitted now, did another 17, 18 laps, he'd be okay. But I think he's probably doing, as you said, trying to get it to 20 if he can. Come on, it's not going any further. Walter Lux is in already.
Wow. 17 laps only on the mediums, not liking it at all. This is the sort of circuit, though, Jay, where you can go out and do something incredible, lest we forget the 4-stop that Michael Schumacher did to win this race.
Yeah, pulled the biggest surprise packet of the lot by doing something nobody thought was possible, to pit so many times and win, but Schumacher was in a league of his own at that point as well, so I guess we shouldn't be too surprised that points on now really starting to check up the field, because you've got Timothy Vaughan and Anthony Catt. Remember, not that long ago, they were at the back of the shot when we were focusing on these guys. They're not at the back of the shot anymore, they're in the shot.
Yeah, 120 over that last lap. I think Morgan Soam is really struggling at this point because he's gone out and he's really aggressive through these corners and he's using a lot of that medium compound tyre, just trying to get himself into play. Now, here is the pass by Marcel Fassbender on Jordan Gronkowski. Now, this is crucial, not for points at this moment in time, but for pride there for Marcel Fassbender, because that will jump him up then past Jordan Gronkowski into 16th place. No SimSpeed points for that, but it is a statement.
I think the thing is, too, that we know that Fassbender's got to get as much time as he can, considering he's on the soft tyre. So he had to get that move done and then blast away from Gronkowski to have any chance of redemption in this race. Comes Timothy Vaughan. Now all of a sudden he's back into the top 4. Is he going to be able to get the spot? Oh, Tom's so aggressive there.
He's got Adelaide absolutely in the back pocket, and that's just showing how good he is. but Timothy Vaughan has done very well, has done wonders to get that sorted and also to give that room. It's so easy when the car is so slow through that section. They're dropping it down under what is naturally pit speed limits to get around that corner. It is so difficult, and the room having to be given. We've seen Eduardo Radice come in. We now see the race leader come in. This is Connor Pooler who dives in. No surprises. He can only last it, though, 18 laps on the soft. It should get easier from here, and I think he is now going to have to be very alert on his pit stop as the crew will now find themselves out and away. He will come back out on a medium. He'll get the medium out the way now.
Yeah, so he'll do medium now, and then he'll come in for a set of softs to finish the race off, you would guess. And Morgan's in as well. Bayron also in. So a few medium runners coming in after only 18, 19 laps, which is really surprising considering all the numbers we were told.
Three-stop then.
Yeah, they're going to have to three-stop it, because if they're going back to softs now, they can't really do anything else, can they?
Oh my goodness me, he's out of the race. He's managed to have a huge moment out of the pit. He's very much Alex Zanardi.
Lucky that he didn't make contact with someone as he exited the pit lane. He's going to continue on, thankfully. And, wow, I've just gone back and looked at it before we bring it up on screen. I don't even know how that's happened. Car should have more grip, especially with it being a high down. Oh, wow, that was a lot closer than I thought as well. With the high downforce, that's surprising.
Let's have a look at Timothy Vaughan's view of that. That was scary. Oh, it might have even been Florian Kamar. I'm not sure who it was that he found himself coming out of the pits with there, but that was scary as anything. You couldn't have it any worse. In comes Kent Nielsen then to make his stop on board. I believe this is Florian Kamar. And look at this. This is what happens. He's through it, but you'll see behind him just that exactly what happens. He misses it by not much.
Very, very lucky to take him out at all. So, yeah. I hope he realises how lucky he was, but that could have ended in a lot of tears. Kent Nielsen was also coming. Well, hello, there's a car there. Hello, a car's gone.
How many ladders has he walked under, and how many black cats have crossed his path? That was
holding
very...
the black cat under the ladder.
Yeah, I think he circumvented the system. That's sort of the way it's gone at this point. Lap 20, Jacob Reed, currently your race leader, and that is Morgan Soame in the pits, and that might be for a long time.
Yeah, I think he's just come back in. He did get a black flag, obviously, for an unsafe pit exit, but he's also got to get some damage fixed, so he's going to be in the pits for a while. That could have ended in such a big disaster, because we could have seen 3 or 4 cars taken out from that one. Thankfully, we didn't.
Thankfully, we didn't, and it looks like there are issues internet-wise for Anthony Catt. He's okay, he's still going in 4th position, but that would have been a scare for him, so he can't afford to have that too often. 5th and 6th gets interesting right now, because you've got Kent Nielsen, who's made his stop. He's back out and away again on a set of the medium compound tyres. What he's got, though, is Thomas Knoll in front of him.
And Knoll's been very, very consistent this race, so his pace has been very, very good. Hasn't been as amazing as those guys up the front, but he's been very, very consistent. It's not going to matter when you've got someone coming through on fresh tyres. Got a bit of pace as well. I think Thomas Knoll may just be conserving a little bit, making sure that he can make it home, get to the pit stop on the strategy that he wants. You also saw pop up on the top of the screen new fastest lap of the race for Marcel Fassbender.
That's Eduardo Radice,
taken
actually
away very quickly by Eduardo Radice. So done very well on his first flying lap since he came out of the pits. Also seeing Varanen also doing a very good job on his first flying lap out of the pits, which is about to finish.
Yep, so Nico Varanen really is flying too in 16th position. It's very topsy-turvy at this moment because you've got a number of drivers who haven't pitted, a number who have. So you're pretty much looking here, there, everywhere. That is the gap in this field, 13.9 seconds. And that's the difference between old and new in terms of the top two. Connor Pooler, 1.2 seconds a lap quicker.
Wow. I knew that there'd be a big margin between them, but I'm surprised that it's so big. I thought maybe 7/10, 6/10, but see over a second on the same tyre is very, very surprising. We haven't talked about this yet. The track temperature, it's not as hot as we've seen in other races. I mean, it's still warm, 34 degrees Celsius, but it's not ridiculously going to bake an egg hot.
No, and that's because of the in-sim time, which is coming up right now to 3:45 in the afternoon, which would indicate that this track is only going to get colder as this race goes on. There is Thomas Knoll. He's now lost the place to Tobias Saal, who has made the pass on the soft compound tyres. He's the fastest runner at the moment, the highest placed runner on that soft tyre at the moment. But you have to remember that Saal, I do believe, had to come in a little bit earlier because of the damage he sustained with Kent Nielsen.
Look at how far back he's come to get this move done. A decent margin back, but all of a sudden just closes, puts his foot on the brake. Actually had 2 stabs at it on the brake too. You saw that he put his foot on the brake, realised, hang on, if I release the brake a little bit, I might get through. Released it a bit, then got a bit more aggressive, got the move done. Very nice pass.
It's an incredibly nice pass, and that one for Tobias Saal will give him a lot of confidence in the iRacing Championships, because his consistency in that has been incredible.
He's been consistent throughout the whole season, hasn't he? He's been right there or thereabouts. He's just plugged away, managed to find positions, capitalised on other guys not being as consistent. He's done a very, very nice job throughout the season. So looking forward to seeing where he finishes in the championship. I just put up that graphic there because I don't think it surprises anyone who the biggest mover in the field.
Anthony Catt, who's yet to come in and make a stop, but has been so consistent. Never do you really see Anthony Catt in trouble when it comes to races, to the point where he's only had 1 DNF all season and 1 non-start. His DNF, Anthony Catt, was all the way back at round 5 in Sebring.
Which everyone had trouble with at Sebring, didn't they? They had trouble with the surface and the bumps and things like that. So DNF at Sebring, I don't think is anything to worry about. You're going to go through and look through the calendar and say, hey, you're going to get 1 DNF. You probably would have said it'd be Sebring or Long Beach. And done a very, very good job at most of the rounds this season. As you say, though, hasn't won a race. Hasn't needed to. He's just been so consistent up towards the pointy end.
Yeah, hasn't even finished second this season, but he's still in the championship fight. Fassbender, though, on the contrast, look at this. He's got a great race going on right now. That's Florian Kammeier. He's trying to make the pass on. They're both going to encroach on Aaron Barta, who is there just in front. And there goes De Marcel with a power move to the inside. Can he get the drive off the exit? The answer is no. They're going to duel side by side to the Nürburgring chicane. Fassbender on the inside will take command and will take the place away.
Job. Gets the move done. Done very, very nicely in the end there. So well done from Marcel Fassbender, and now finds himself in that magic top 10 as well. So moving his way forward. Finds himself in a very, very nice spot.
Yeah, every single time we see these drivers, someone somewhere is trying to eye up and overtake, despite the fact that this has become a very spacious race outright. Thomas Knoll, continuing to fall backwards, will in fact dive into the pits. It can only last 24 laps on the set of medium compound tyres that he had available to him, and I think this is catching a few drivers out. This track looks like it's higher wear than maybe we thought. Maybe we were thinking 2-stop was the only call. I think it's 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think it's probably become a little bit more dependent on setup in regards to tyre wear than anything else. I think the way that some of the drivers have got their car set up is wearing the tyres a little bit more. They may have a bit more pace early on in the stint, which is why we're seeing guys get to the front or towards the pointy end and make moves. And then we're seeing other guys that did drop back at the start but might have better tyre life come the end of the stint. Timothy Vaughan, I think, is probably the prime example. Started 6, dropped to 12, and he's now finding himself in 3rd, but his pace is the best out of everyone that is still running on their original medium tyre. I think Timothy Vaughan might have found something, saved the tyre early on, you get longevity and better pace at the end of your stint.
Yeah, Timothy Vaughan's doing really well in terms of this race. Someone else who's doing really well at this point, and this is going to be underrated at this point, is Jordan Gronkowski in 11th position. His last lap was a 1:18.1 on that hard compound tyre. You compare that to Connor Pooler, who's on a brand new medium. You look at the comparison, 17.7. Yes, he's losing 4/10 to Connor Pooler, but consider what he's got to Jacob Reed right now. He's half a second quicker than the man who's leading this race. So he's closing that gap down. And I would say he is in the wheelhouse, not exactly fully, but he will be in the wheelhouse to make something happen. As that happens, we got Kent Nielsen and Anthony Cat side by side heading to the Nürburgring chicane. And it looks like Cat just holds for the moment.
Yep, Anthony Cat holds on. See here, watch Nielsen close up. Anthony Cat used that momentum around the outside very, very nicely. We're going to see that even more throughout the race. If you can force that car on the inside to keep that shallow line, you might be able to continue on the spot. You can see that their Cat is holding onto the position. Now, on that point of Jacob Reed, Connor Pooler, Jordan Gronkowski in regards to lap times, remember that Reed and Pooler, they have to be faster than Gronkowski because they have to come back into the pits at least 2 more times. Whereas Gronkowski, he's trying to make it all the way to the end. So they really have to gain pretty much a second a lap to get the advantage back that they will lose in regards to pit stop times. A cycle down the lane is around about 22, 23 seconds plus your pit stop time. So the pit loss time, I should say, is around 22, 23 seconds. So that means they've got to get about 40 seconds ahead. Gronkowski at the moment is down by 43 seconds, but the guys that he was battling with, he's only down by about 35 seconds. So he'll find himself in a nice little position, I think, Gronkowski. He could play a curveball to, I'm not going to say race winning, but he could find himself a sneaky podium out of this.
He'll need a lot of work, but he is the sort of driver who can manage it. A comfortable pass by Kent Nielsen. He moves up then into 4th place as he goes through. Cam Meyer looks like he's starting to drop backwards here because that going through is Eduardo Radice who makes the pass. So Cam Meyer will lose out the place. He also lost out the place heading through towards the Nürburgring chicane to Alexis Morichon. So positions going back here, there and everywhere. There is Gronk, who is looking to try and make that progress through and pass Aaron Barta. This would be for 9th place in this race right now, and he is hoping that he's got that sorted. Barta still on his original set of mediums, committed to that 2-stop strategy, which would open up about now, but you'd feel he'd want to go about 7 laps more in this race.
Just going back and having a little look-see at the early race strategies. The race winning strategy was a medium soft strategy. However, the medium tyres are only on for 17 laps, which is what we're seeing from a few drivers. Wear them hard early, take them off early. Gronkowski gets himself back up into 8th position, but then lasted 25 and 28 laps on the soft tyres after they were changed. So we've seen softs actually last anywhere up to 30 laps as long as they're looked after. Side by side here. Oh, no.
Oh! Aaron Barta gets tapped around by Alexis Morichon through the Nürburgring chicane. It's a one-line suit tool section. You have to get it committed before you go in. Too wide is the devil's game.
He's picked up a mechanical black flag from that one as well, so there's a fair bit of damage on that little bump. There wasn't much in it, but make contact in the wrong place of the car while the car's doing the wrong thing, as in the car's turning or straight at the wrong spot, will cause a fair bit of damage. That's where the damage has come. The second hit.
Yeah, the first hit sends him round, the gravel slowing down. The second hit points him back to straight, but it's the damage to the suspension that's there. Now here is Walter Lux, who's got his eyes set on Anthony Cat. Will make that move to the inside, locks up the inside front, which forces Cat wide, and as such, Cat has to cede the position. Now, you're struggling down on that gear, because you're right either down in the low end of the second gear or the high end of the first gear, and the first gear is the one gear in this Mercedes W13 Performance you do not want to be in.
Yeah, you only want to be in it the one time in the entire race, so that's off the race start. I don't think drivers even really want to use it out of pit lane. Speaking of, Notice that Morgenstone's back out on track, so he got that damage fixed, which is great, and then had to come back in and serve that drive-through penalty for unsafe pit exit. But he's back going again, and he's ended up only 2 laps down, which is absolutely incredible.
Do you reckon Jacob Reed could do a one-stop?
No. Only reason I say that is because I can't see the point of going to hards, and I can't see a soft tyre lasting 40 laps when he's going to feel pressure from Connor Pooler behind.
No, what I'm thinking is he goes 40 laps on his softs, and he goes 30 on his medium, sorry. He goes 30 on the softs, as in comes Morichon and Kamaya to make their stops. You would argue, if we saw in the earlier race, a soft could go 28, a soft could go 30.
Very true. But then again, the soft going that many laps, how much pressure was there from behind? He's going to feel a lot more pressure from Connor Pooler. Interesting that Morichon's in again. This is his second pit stop. He's back out again on another set of softs, and just see Kamaya also coming back out on track. So pit stops. We don't have to worry about that now either, Sperry. Jacob Reed is in. And a lap 30, sort of what we were thinking might be the strategy play. 30-20-20.
Yeah, a 30-20-20 for Jacob Reed might be the key. He will change his tyres. He goes on to the Red Bull soft. That will put Connor Pooler in the race lead. And this is the all-important stint, because you do sense that Jacob Reed right now will have 10 seconds to close on Connor Pooler, and if he manages to close that gap down and get to naught by the time he goes in or Connor comes in and makes that stop, that's where the field settles and says that's where the game is played.
Well, basically, they're now, sure they're on different tyres, but they're back on the same strategy, because they're both going to pit for a set of softs at the end of the race. So this is where Pooler has to get to lap 50-ish. Has to get to at least lap 50, you would think. That'll give him 20-ish laps on the softs. Jacob Reed's done it mathematically. He's going to do the 30-20-20. We're almost definite on that. So Pooler...
Anthony Katz pitted for a hard tyre.
What? I've just seen that too.
That's a one-stop.
It is a one-stop, but... I mean, if anyone's going to do a one-stop, it was going to be Cat. But... I mean, we know the hards will last that long. We're not sure about Gronkowski, but Anthony Cat, maybe he's decided it's the only way I'm going to get a decent haul of points is to go hard and not come back into the pits. Yeah, I'm surprised by that. But in the same breath, I'm not surprised at all that Anthony Cat's pulled a swerve on us.
Well, he's trying to do a similar strategy to what Jordan Gronkowski's doing up in 7th position right now. So I think that's a clever call, but he finds himself 10 seconds down on Jordan Gronkowski at this moment here. So as Gronkowski just runs wide through the Lycée complex once more, you are starting to sense that these drivers are going to push. And this is a heavy track on intensity, and it's not often talked about. Intensity, rate of cornering, rate of thought. This is a circuit that will lull you into a mistake.
This is the only section that you really get a bit of a break, isn't it? You through here, and even then the longest straight, the longest full throttle section has got 2 turning points within it. Tobias Sale goes through, spot up in 8th position, because you get your foot on the power halfway through turn 2, and then you've got the kink turn 4, where you're also turning the wheel. So the longest parts of the lap that you get a chance to breathe, rest your head, have a little stretch, grab a drink, they're not straights at all, are they? That you are still full intensity, full power, full mental capacity used.
Oh, wow.
Nice lap.
Look at this. Fastest lap. Jacob Reed, 1:16.485. That is a mega lap time, and he is in just one fell swoop, scythed the gap down to 7.8 over the line.
Yep. What, 10.9 when we first exited the pits? Jacob Reed, once he got up to speed, and now all of a sudden, almost halved that within 2 laps. Comes Walter Lux and Kent Nielsen side by side. Lux trying to go around the long way on his older soft tyres than Kent Nielsen's middle of the road mediums. Lux will be into the pits very, very soon to change those softs. You would think he's on his 16th lap at the moment.
Well, he's definitely eyeing up. Can he get back in? He was so aggressive there through 180 left where he has made the mistakes. He looks left, he looks right against Kent Nielsen, but he can't find an angle up through the Imola chicane here heading to Chateau d'Eau corner, the plateaued boiler tower section that you got, the water tower corner, and then back down the hill under the entrance to the circuit and in towards Lycée. Here, this very difficult right-hander. There used to be a massive chicane through this section, which made this area of the track difficult, but now that final chicane, I would argue, is just as tough.
It's really difficult, that final chicane. I mean, it's difficult in a different way to what it was back in the day, but probably in a way it's made it a little bit more technical, because you've really got to pinpoint that chicane, especially in the last lap. If you're in a battle, get that wrong and you're going to lose so many positions. Whoa. Kent Nielsen, he's got the elbows out today.
He has, and look who's just encroaching behind. Where has Marcel Fassbender come from?
From the back to the front, but I know what you mean. He's closing in really quickly, and his pace is still good. He's on his 22nd lap on their soft tyres, and he is lapping the same pace as... He's faster than Veyronen, who's on his 15th lap. Faster than Thomas Knoll, who's on his 9th lap of mediums. The Fassbender's still got great pace in the car, despite having about the limit worth of soft tyre use.
I've just seen William Morris go around at the final corner as Jacob Reed sets another purple lap and really is putting the screw here to Conor Pooler as these three find themselves pretty much line astern at this point in time. Fassbender trying to pass Nielsen and Walter Lux, who has got himself away once again. Kent, look behind you, because De Marcel is trying to make some progress and trying to make the move. Can he do enough with the DRS? He's going to have to find an angle here. He'll look to the outside to try and make it happen. Trying to box him in is Kent Nielsen, but on the outside line, he's got just enough grip to make sure that he holds station just for now. But Marcel is looking to attack. It's a heavy defense again, and he can't find an angle.
The issue that Fassbender's got here, that Kent Nielsen also still has DRS. So I think if Nielsen didn't have the DRS down the back straight there, he might have got the move done. Couldn't quite, just due to that DRS. And we were just talking about that final chicane and how it can cause issues. This is what happened for, as you said, William Morris. He's just bounced it over the curb. Very, very easy to ruin your run if that happens. Ruin your pace. Ruin your car too, because it can give floor damage.
Jacob Reed is now teetering at 1 second to Conor Pooler in the race on for the lead of this one. Conor Pooler realises that he is probably in the wrong place at the wrong time and is probably going to have to try and hold on. I would say if he wants to win this race, for 4 laps to try and win this one, if he gives himself at the very most open opportunity for a soft tyre.
He needs to get on the soft as soon as he can. It's at the earliest point that he knows he can make it home, he needs to get on the soft. But the issue he's got is that's going to put him back in the field as well. He might end up with traffic as well based on where other drivers are. So that's going to be in the back of his mind as well. Just has to hold off Jacob Reed for as long as he can.
There's traffic in front, which might give him some help. That is William Morris and Morgan Soame right now. Soame, who's already 1 lap down. Everyone else who's there, very much a case of big defense through at Lycée. You're going to need that car, which is a little bit wider than what they were racing in 05 and 06, to be even wider still. But they've invented the drag reduction system, which is the one thing that Conor Pooler has not accounted for. And Jacob Reed has all the traction in the world through Estoril at turn 2. Out on circuit and round now, heading for the run through the flick right of Golf. He will now have the chance to move to that outside. Is this going to be plain sailing? There's not much more that you can do than that. Jacob Reed takes the race lead.
Very easily done in the end there from Jacob Reed. Conor Pooler now going to have to work out how to stay within the race and try and hold on to the net lead, because he's had great pace right off the race start, but may have pushed too soon right at that start as well. Now, one thing before we get up to the next phase of pit stops, You notice that who's still going on his original medium tyre has not pitted in the race yet, only car yet to pit. Timothy Vaughan's still going.
And he'll be due a stop, and he's racing himself into podium contention.
Yep. And that saving of the medium tyre at the start of the stint has been something that nobody else did. He's the only one that did it, and has worked the tyres a treat. Kept them really contained in the first 10 laps, and then it's just been consistent ever since. His pace is nearly as good as his fastest lap, and he's now about to finish lap 37, start 38 on these tyres. He's going to do that one stop that you were thinking, could Jacob Reed do? I think Timothy Vaughan can.
And what's even scarier is that the lap before last, he was half a second quicker than the race lead, or what at the time was the race leader, Connor Pooler.
Yeah, with Connor Pooler getting that overtake, or having that overtake put on him by Jacob Reed, he did the same lap time. So Vaughan, with tyres that are double the age of Connor Pooler, 38 laps versus 19 laps.
Fassbender.
Fassbender through on Walter Lux. Fassbender's back up into 4th. And he's on his
doing so
26th
well.
lap.
Yeah, and he could be driving himself into contention now for a podium, if not more, if Connor Pooler drops. So Marcel Fassbender is driving an absolute treat at this moment. He's unlocked the longevity of the soft compound tyre, and he is putting himself firmly in contention for this one right now. And it just makes you wonder here, Jay, what if he didn't get tangled with Dan Piazza?
Yeah, what if? So many what ifs within this entire series, but that's a big one. I think at the moment, Timothy Vaughan's looking really good in regards to podium, but can't ever discount Marcel Fassbender. Walter Lux now behind him, and Kent Nielsen's dropped off a little bit since that overtake has been made. Fassbender's doing a brilliant job throughout this race, and his lap pace is the third fastest car on track at the moment. The only driver's faster than him at the moment is Tobias Sull. In saying that, Tobias Sull was slower on that lap. It's only Jacob Reed that's faster than him. How can he be doing that on 27 lap old tyres?
And Jacob Reed's on 8-lap tyres, going 1 second a lap faster. A look back from Walter Lux, the Austrian on the outside, but he can't quite manage that move with the help of the DRS as an aid. Back across then, through the small flicks left and right to the Nürburgring chicane, then the right, then the left, and immediately you have to pivot yourself straight into the 180 left corner, because the moment you step out of line, as Lux has done on 2 occasions already in this race, you find out just how difficult this section of road can be. It is going to be important now to work out who is going to make their final pit stops when, and who is good to the end. Gronkowski might be good to the end, which is his only saving grace.
Yeah, Gronkowski and Cat, I think you're probably going to be right. Just see William Morris has come in to make his second stop. And he's also gone back out on hards at this point. So he's going to do a 30-lap hard stint, finish the race off. Timothy Vaughan has just now started his 40th lap on his original mediums. Remembering that the original tyres, they do get put through a little bit of extra work, because obviously they're doing the race start, which includes, for the most part, a burnout. So the fact that Vaughan has got these tyres to last, it's absolutely incredible. I can't believe he's still going.
Well, he's going to have to come into the pits as Nico Veiranen will come in and try a 30-lap stint to get himself to the end of this race. He pits from just inside the top 10, which was around Anthony Katz. And as he goes away, he will finish the race on a medium.
What will Vaughan do? Will Vaughan come into the pits at the end of this lap? I think he's coming in at the end of this one.
Well, we'll see if he does, and if he has the confidence in the soft tyre or potentially the hard tyre. He has to come off the medium tyre at some point. He can love it as much as he wants. He knows he can't hang out there forever, Jay. There's no safety cars in an iRacing official series, but as he hits the brakes, down he goes through the right-hand corner. Question's going to be no. He stays out longer.
Wow. When does Fassbender come in? 28 laps? Here he comes.
Now.
And have a look at how many laps there are to go.
Yeah, 30. He's got himself in with an incredible run, and I think he's now going to try and get that soft tyre all the way to the end. Up and off the jacks. It is a soft. He is going to try and put 30 laps in on a tyre he has so much confidence on.
And remember where he was at the end of the last pit stop phase? Came out behind Jordan Gronkowski by, what, about 6 seconds?
Yeah.
Come out behind Jordan Gronkowski around about 7 seconds. So that entire stint has cost him a second on Jordan Gronkowski.
1 second, that's not bad at all from Marcel Fassbender, who's been putting in some lightning laps and will come out just ahead of that driver there, Eduardo Radice, who at one point did have the fastest lap of the race, the number 13 car, who started all the way back on row 9 of the grid, who finds himself now in for a couple of SimSpeed Championship points. There is the driver in second, Connor Pooler. There is Timothy Vaughan in third position, heading through the flick into the Lycée complex then for his run forward. Is he going to finally go? No, I think he's going to go as far as lap 50 maybe.
This is incredible. It's brilliant. It's amazing. I love it. Wish we saw more of it.
Well, you've got to think outside of the box here at the Circuit de Nevers Magny Cours. It is pretty much written in the folklore.
It's a wild place, isn't it? It's a track that always provides a curveball, controversy, an alternate strategy. Something out of the normal happens at this track all the time. Racing and real world.
Fuel. Thomas Knoll in 11th position will try and find himself then with Anthony Catt in 10th, who's trying to hold on as Marcel Fassbender makes the pass on Eduardo Radice and jumps up into 8th place. The one thing I did say, 5 laps to go in a race once upon a time, Jay, in 2002, had a certain Alan McNish dropping oil on the circuit, which cost Kimi Räikkönen the race win.
You could almost hear his reaction in my head, Kimi. Actually, don't know what he would have said, but I'm sure it would have been entertaining to listen to.
Well, no doubt about that at this moment here as Marcel Fassbender now is up into 8th position. His next challenge is Jordan Gronkowski, who is the SimSpeed Championship leader. Marcel Fassbender, though, as he looks at the iRacing Championship, is the iRacing Championship leader as Walter Lux comes in for his final stop. His main rival in that at the moment for Marcel Fassbender is Anthony Catt, who is the worst of the 4 title contenders for the SimSpeed title.
Oh, Fassbender, look at that lap time.
16 flat. Oh, wow.
16 flat. That's amazing pace. I'm sure that we'll see it into the 15s very, very soon, but Timothy Vaughan, how is he not pitted yet? How is he not pitted? I mean, if he started on hards, I could understand it, but the fact that he started on mediums and still going is incredible.
Well, it's not like they've hidden the pit lane here, Jay. No. It's very easy. You just go straight on at the before going to that final chicane. I can't believe he doesn't know where it is.
It's very Canada-esque, isn't it, the pit entrance here? Probably a little less incidents happen there with it being a bit more slower speed approach, but still the same concept. Straight ahead at the chicane at the end of the lap. Coming? Is he coming? Here it is.
So he manages to last an incredible 43 laps on a set of medium compound tyres. This will set him up for one soft tyre to bring himself to the end. Question will be where he comes out, not in comparison to that driver there, Anthony Catt, but Gronkowski and Fassbender. He's going to be behind Gronkowski, and he will also be behind Marcel Fassbender. So Timothy Vaughan has lost out to Marcel Fassbender, but he's got a better tyre.
Yep, and he's also seemed to work out how to make the tyre last as well, because Fassbender, sure, he made that medium tyre last. How good is he at making the soft tyre last? Sorry, no, Fassbender did make that soft tyre last before. I'll take back everything I said and shut my mouth.
Well, just in front of them is Saul and Gronkowski, who are holding each other to a similar pace at this moment. Gronkowski on a hard, Tobias Saul on a soft. So those two are what is being chased. And the rate that they're being caught right now, 17.7 last time from Gronkowski, 16.3 from Marcel Fassbender, 1.4 seconds. Radice.
Alternate line there for Radice. He's running very, very wide through the Adelaide hairpin, and we've seen it a few times already. I don't think it'll be the last time we see it either.
No, I don't think so either. And it just goes to show you that every single section of this track is difficult as Gronk is in.
Wow, 32 laps on the hard tyre. So Fassbender got nearly the same amount of laps on his set of softs.
Well, you got to think that John Gronkowski is thinking, well, am I going to lose that time on the hard tyre trying to get it to the end? I'd rather go on a soft and go out there and be aggressive. I might have a chance to pick up a SimSpeed bonus point, which, yes, at this point, I am absolutely ceding this championship to Jacob Reed, who will take the SimSpeed championship lead if it stays like this. But there's a long way to go yet with 5 races after this.
How far up the field can he get, though? And, I mean, if he's only getting 32 laps out of a hard tyre, how long is he going to be able to make the softs last? Can he do 25 on them? I'm going to say, based off that numbers, no. Connor Pooler in.
Yeah, so Pooler now has to bite the bullet. He's 15 seconds down as he jumps into the pits on Jacob Reed. So he must make the stop that gets himself any hope, any semblance of chasing that gap down. Jacob Reed has complete faith and complete control of this field at the moment, and Pooler out and away. No shocks there. He's on a soft tyre.
Kent Nielsen's coming. How close will he get? Very.
Well, Connor Pooler's up to speed. That will be the saving grace, but there is DRS for Kent Nielsen. 4 lights on the dash indicates that. How close will he get, and does he want to go out there and be aggressive? You know he does, but he's not close enough, so he'll have to fall back into line. Pooler perfectly timing that pit stop.
Yep. And that was one consideration that I did mention was how much will the pit cycle play into this? Lap traffic, sorry, play into this. So, done a good job, as you say, to time it well, but he had maybe waited one more lap. He could have dropped in behind Kent Nielsen and then found himself in all sorts of trouble. His sake,
yeah,
he'll be happy that he timed it well.
He is very happy that he timed it well. And Kent Nielsen, of course, who's still out there on the medium tyres, will be thinking about that soft stint to the end. That is Eduardo Rodis through on Florian Kameyer for 12th position here in this one. Couple places to go. Oh, there's trouble in the background there. Someone's off the road down at the Adelaide hairpin.
Veyronen? I think it was, yes.
Might be. So Nico Veyronen finding out what makes it difficult and the reason why he overshoots it. Well, I believe it's what we call yellow helmet syndrome. That was the race leader right behind.
That's him potentially just getting out or trying to get out of the way and then not really judging it the way he would have liked.
Yeah, I believe that was not what was ideal, as Tobias Saal has come into the pit and has made his final stop of the race. He falls back into 10th position, a couple seconds behind Gronkowski. Pooler over the radio to William Morris saying, please, come on, get out of the way. I need to try and get through. Thank you very much for that. But he knows that he is in a race and he has got to do as much as he can with what he has got.
32 seconds. Going to lose maybe 22-ish for the pit stops is Jacob Reed. So he'll drop back to about a 10-second margin at this present stage. He's got a big advantage, though, as Jacob Reed. Longer he stays out on these softs, the bigger the advantage is going to be because he's going to have less time on his newer, faster set of softs at the end of the race. But how many laps can he do at the end?
I wonder if we could get a replay as Kent Nielsen dives into the pits of what happened to Thomas Knoll on this lap at the Adelaide hairpin, because this is a prime example of what happens, Jay, when your tyres are cooked. Oh, and Gronkowski very nearly tangles with Anthony Catt.
Hey, what's going on?
Right, let's dissect. First and foremost, Thomas Knoll. This is what happens on the brakes. Locks up the front. Look at that heavy lock. And as he tries to get the turn, there is Jordan Gronkowski. That is a freebie if ever a freebie was a freebie.
And Gronkowski's like, I'll take that spot. I don't need to stress about it. Yeah, I've just seen what you're talking about between Gronkowski and Catt. This is very, very close. Almost ended in tears for both. Catt, well, there was contact.
Yeah, front to rear, tyre to tyre compound contact there. And Anthony Catt, you feel at this point in time, I think is going to have to look at what he's done today and say, this isn't it, Chief.
This is the first time we may have seen a strategy blip for Anthony Catt. The entire season, he's fooled us many, many times in regards to his strategy. But I don't think this is the right call today because everyone is on such newer tyres. Such isn't the right word there, but anyway, it's still early in the morning. But yeah, Catt really struggling today with this strategy not working in his favour. Wondering if he's just not connecting with the track as much as he has at other circuits. He is not feeling it as much as he has the last few.
No, and being down right now in 8th position, it's only going to get worse when Tobias look, he gets to the DRS line side by side. That shows you how much he's struggling.
Yep. He's going to have to come in and take some softs before the end of this race, you'd feel. He's going to have to
and
come
how far will he fall? He'll go a lap down.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, the positive, I guess, is that Jacob Reed still has to pit, but yeah, he will go a lap down for now. He'll get that lap back, but I think it's the only way he can salvage a top 10. Current rate he's going, he's just dropping too much time too quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty much death by paper cut at this moment in time for him. Look at that. That's big from Connor. 15.9. He needed the traffic to get out of the way on that lap. And that was traffic impeding on that lap as well. Connor Pooler does have an incredible turn of cadence around him at this point. Jacob Reed doing 17.6s at the moment. That 15.9 was 1.7 seconds quicker, but still, Jacob Reed has, you would argue, about 7 seconds in the pocket.
Yep. Yeah, about 7, maybe 8 seconds at the moment. There in his favour. The other part of that as well is, remember, Connor Pooler was very, very quick in the early phases of the race on the soft, but he dropped away very quickly, and Jacob Reed came back at him towards the end of that first stint. Now we're seeing the reverse. In he comes. I think Jacob Reed's realised, hey, we're going to have to come in now, but the other side of that is still doing it mathematically. 30, 20, 20.
Yeah, he is pretty much gone to stint, to the script that he has there. Up on the jacks, no missed box. He'll be back out and away on another set of the soft compound tyres. Pooler is only just now reaching Lysay corner, and that is a fantastic pit stop then by Jacob Reed. There's nothing that Connor Pooler can do about that. He can push for every lap he can possibly can. A 16.5 that time, but what's that gap? It's 10 seconds.
10 seconds at the moment, so you'd only expect that to continue to grow over the next 20 laps of racing, especially in that last few. Could Marcel Fassbender potentially get to a P2? And
at the moment, he's not going quick enough for it.
No, but one thing I've just noticed, Timothy Vaughan last lap, half a second faster than Marcel Fassbender. Could Vaughan get himself back into a podium position?
He very much could. Marcel Fassbender knows he's in a race for this podium. Number 3 is going to have to look around and think about what does he want and how much can he gain. This is an important race for Marcel Fassbender when you consider the iRacing Championship. His lead coming into today was 10 points only, which is not even a position in most races. That's half a position as Florian Kamar comes in. He will boost his margin. But remember, in the iRacing Championship, you get 4 drop rounds.
Yeah, 4 drop rounds over the 23-round season, which obviously we're in round 18. It means we only got 5 rounds to go, Sperry. We haven't got much left in this championship. What a fun season it's been so far, and some of the tracks we've still got left are going to be absolutely brilliant. Kent Nielsen now feeling pressure from Jordan Gronkowski, who's closing that gap down very quickly.
Yeah, Gronk is looking for 6th place and will want to try and make that pass really, really thoroughly in terms of what he needs out of it. You consider the final 5 in terms of this season. Circuit of the Americas, Road America, Interlagos, the Motor City Detroit Belle Isle, and Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That is a 5 rounds to finish a championship that I think anyone could be proud of as Jordan Gronkowski looks for 6th place on the outside.
I know that this is not going to be an easy overtake. It has not been easy to pass Kent Nielsen all race long.
Up and under.
Oh, he couldn't, could he? No. Can. Going to try, but he's
I
not quite
think-
there.
No, he's going to back out of it, and that's a wise decision because Kent Nielsen would have fought him for it there on that outside line. Through 180 degrees of left-hand bend, you now look to try and attack as early as you can. Jacob Reed with the purple check mark for fastest lap with a 15.6.
Half a second faster than the fastest lap that Connor Pooler had. And the lap that Connor Pooler just did was an 18.1. That is 2.5 seconds faster than the second place car. Remember how we said that I don't think Marcel Fassbender can get there? I think we need to take that back. He can. Timothy Vaughan could still get a second.
Oh, that was Connor Pooler going spread eagle sideways at Adelaide on that lap.
Wow. Hey, this is starting to all fall apart for Connor Pooler.
Well, he is going to have to focus and really tune in because this is what happens when you hit the brakes from fast to astronomically slow. He just grabs the curb, gets a full rear axle lock, and somehow catches it.
Now, the issue with that is he's going to hyperheat the tyres, so he's going to struggle with that tyre performance for the next couple of laps as well. So while it's affected him on that one lap, it's not just that one lap that he's affected for. He's going to affect him for another couple as well. Morishon in for his final pit stop as well. 23 laps on his stint of mediums. Jordan Gronkowski cannot get this move done here on Kent Nielsen. He's defending with all his might.
And this will frustrate Jordan Gronkowski in the very same way that Fernando Alonso once upon a time was frustrated by a certain driver known as Vitaly Petrov. This is crucial for Gronkowski. This is one of those races where you have to judge Gronkowski on what he can get out of it. This is not his best performance. Championships are won on your worst performance, not your best.
Yep. Oh, in the background, who's around? Yep.
Morgan Soam, the lap traffic.
Yep. He's had a shocker, hasn't he? It was all going so right until it all of a sudden went all wrong. A bad race just got worse for him, but he's continued on. The positive is he's away. But he's also just got another iRacing issued black flag. That's his second one.
Yeah, well, he got one for speeding in the pits as Gronk again to the outside. Just enough room given there as he's pushed a little bit wide off the exit. But this one will be for incident points.
Yep. Yeah, the first one was for that unsafe pit exit. Remember the moment that we saw? Morris almost saw his life flash before his eyes. This battle's continuing on. I want to just quickly focus on this for a second, Sperry. It's not the graphic I wanted. That's the graphic I wanted. Have a look at that gap.
1.3. Timothy Vaughan slowly whittling that one away. Gap is about 6 seconds to Connor Pooler right now. And if these two are trading times, look at it. They're only a tenth between each other at the moment. They are very even right now. Fassbender and Vaughan. They are proving that they have got all the pace in the world. The German, Marcel Fassbender, Timothy Vaughan from Club Oz NZ. These two will race for a podium right now, despite being on opposite ends of the world.
Us Aussies like to claim Kiwis as our own, so we'll claim Vaughan for today's race, being a Kiwi. Doing a very, very nice job. And despite the tenth of a second between Vaughan and Fassbender, the other part of that as well is that Timothy Vaughan was 1/2 second than Connor Pooler ahead, who are all slower than Jacob Reed at the front. So Reed's starting to check out, but Connor Pooler will have his eyes on the mirror and realise that this fluoro yellow and silver car is getting slightly bigger in it.
Yeah, and that will be a very welcome or unwelcome distraction, I would say, over the fluorescent yellow wing that he's driving with as he goes through the Lycée complex to end his lap and start his 56th attempt around this circuit in this 70-lap foray at the Circuit de Nevers Magny Cours. It is the last race on the schedule in Europe. It is pretty much the Americas that we challenge through to the end of the season with 4 races over and set in the United States of America and then 1 race in South America, traditionally Interlagos. So those are what is at stake in terms of the racing. The last European race, that pretty much sets the scene for the end of the season.
Yep. What a place to finish the European leg of the season on. Here comes Gronkowski back around the outside. Is he far enough along? Not quite, but
No.
I'll tell you what, Tobias Sales closing in on these guys very quickly now too.
Yeah, it's because Kent Nielsen's making him scrap for it. Gronkowski forces himself to get some room. Now he's going to try and be brave, but he's going to have to bail out of it, and that's a slowdown surely. As he now dives down the hill, he will have to take it.
It's a black
and serve that
flag.
penalty, but I think that puts him over incident.
Yep, it's hit the incident limit as Gronkowski, and he's have to drive through the pit lane. He's going to have to serve a pit lane drive-through penalty. He'll be in the lane for about 15 seconds, so he'll lose maybe 11 or 12. That'll put him back with Anthony Catt. Anthony Catt could somehow get himself back up into the top 8.
Well, you know that Gronkowski will be driving angry after that.
Yep.
As he hits the brakes, he goes through. He's got 4 laps to serve that penalty. As he goes through, he gets clattered from behind. There is Ken Nielsen, who wasn't expecting that as he went through, and that might have damaged his front wing.
May have damaged the front wing for sure. There is a little bit of a crink in it. You can see.
That is damage.
Yep. By a sail through. Gronkowski will continue his drive through the lane. No, he's actually stopped the car. This is a stop and hold penalty.
I wonder if that is for cutting the corner too egregiously.
Potentially. We thought that would have just been a drive through, but obviously it's not. And in other news as well, Morgan Salm has retired his car. Anthony Catt's going to lose another spot here.
He is. That then is Eduardo Radice, who makes the pass and jumps up into 8th place. Jordan Gronkowski might not be scoring anything here today in terms of SimSpeed Championship points, and any hopes that he may have of iRacing Championship might be falling as well in terms of what he's trying to do. But points are there and in the offing for everybody who is out there. The one big gainer, I think, out of today is Marcel Fassbender.
Yeah, Marcel's going to take a big haul of points here. Side by side here, that's Macheron and Kamai side by side. Here is Conopula. Have a look at the gap that has closed up. Fassbender is not far away now, and there's Vaughan. So this has got very, very tight. 4 seconds now.
It had 4 seconds and 13 laps to close those 4 seconds down. Into the pits comes Kent Nielsen with that front wing damage. He will drop down the field as well after he ran up the back of Jordan Gronkowski, who took nearly an 80-second pit stop there with the penalty that was issued to him, and as such has fallen all the way back to 15th with no hope of points.
No, the only thing he can try and do now is steal that fastest lap away so no one else gets that bonus point. I guess that, in a way, will be getting a point for him because no one else will get that point. But
no guarantee.
Yeah, there's no guarantee he's going to get it because the car probably has a little bit of damage as well. Lap by then, Conopula 17-1, Marcel Fassbender 16-8, 16-7 for Vaughan. Vaughan did drop back a little bit. You can see that that gap between Fassbender and Vaughan has dropped. What, about 3-4 tenths over the last couple of laps? But I think that's Vaughan maybe just cycling the tyres like he did with the mediums right at the start of the race. I think it's him just conserving the tyre so he's got something left to push with right in that last 5 laps.
He's giving himself something to attack, and outside of the realm where the dirty air is going to really hit and hurt, Conopula in second position has driven, quite frankly, the best sim race I've ever seen him drive.
He's driven the wheels off the car.
He's still got 4 of them.
Well, he's still got 4 of them for now, but he's used a few before that, destroyed those tyres because he is pushing very, very hard. That stint to start the race was very, very good from him as well. So, kind of pull it, regardless of where he finishes today, I think you could confidently say it's been his best race of this series by a mile. He's doing a very, very nice job, but Jacob Reed is in a world of his own at the moment. His confidence is through the roof, isn't it?
It's ever since he got the pro stripe.
Yep.
Hungaroring, Zandvoort, Monza and Suzuka, all victories for him. He is on track for his 5th race win in 6 starts, his 5th race win in the last 7 races. The only driver who has been able to topple Jacob Reed in this stretch of form has been Julien Magalon when we weren't with you at Fuji. But you have to sense that everybody else around is looking and going, what on earth is he put in his cereal? Because I want some.
And the fact that he's doing it while also racing in the Pro Series as well is probably a testament to how good of a driver he is. The fact that he can switch between two, sure, both high downforce cars, but two very unique cars, and be so competitive in both is incredible. Oh,
Bang.
Another fastest lap. Bang, indeed. He's just blitzing them, is he? He's just playing with them now.
He's toying. That's
Yep.
a 15.2. A 15.2.
Is he going to get in the 14s before the end?
56 on his outlap. That's 15.2.
He's going to get in the 14s by the end, isn't he?
I just want to point out his qualifying lap was a 15.1.
No. Really?
Yeah.
What?
He was fourth fast on the 15.1. That was a 15.2 fastest lap.
Wow. That fastest qualifying lap was a 14.7. Remember, that was Connor Puller who did start on pole. So, yeah, I was sort of, I don't know why subconsciously I was thinking that he started on pole, but of course Connor Puller started on pole and drove away from the field at the start, and Jacob Reed closed that back down very, very quickly. So,
Jacob Reed, you would have to say, has been very fortunate in the sense that the the drivers that he was racing against, second and third at that time, Marcel Fassbender, and of course, one Mr. Kent Nielsen. Those are the sorts of drivers that he's got to look at and go, he's done okay in and around. I think he's also got to look at Tobias Saal and go, oh, I'm very lucky that Tobias Saal got himself caught up in that as well, because they were holding him up to no end.
have a look at the gap here now. This is getting tight. This is getting close. This is getting interesting.
Got to be about 0.4 of a second every lap, and you got to get within a second here. Fassbender a 16.9. Pooler is hitting a cliff. 17.4. He lost 0.7 on the last lap and goes off the road at Estoril.
He's struggling big time. Is Pooler. Will he be able to hold on to this position? It's now down to 2.3. And Timothy Vaughan is now 1 second back. He'll get DRS next time they hit the activation point through 11 and 12.
I reckon he's trying to time it here as Timothy Vaughan.
I
The
agree.
bright yellow machine is trying to figure out whether he's got something that everybody else hasn't. He's going to try and do his thing and make it work on a one stop to pick up what could be second position overall, flicking up through the gears, through fifth, into sixth, looking for seventh gear, heading towards the Imola chicane at 270, stays in seventh, small downshift into sixth position, or into sixth gear, and down all the way to second to try and get that turn in at Chateau d'Eau.
Not quite in the DRS range, but he's very, very close, and I don't think it'll be long before we start to see his green lights up on the dash. Gap between second and third now 2 seconds, so he's well and truly there is Marcel Fassbender. Did you expect that we'd have a 3-car battle for second come the end of the race? I didn't think that that was a chance with maybe 30 to go. We got to 20 to go, and like that'd be cool if we got there. Well, we're going to have it with 3 to go. This is going to be so good.
This is going to be incredible, and it's all down to these three drivers who are trying to work out whether they've got space on a 2-space rostrum at this point here. Connor Pooler desperately clinging on. Marcel Fassbender, who started the race, get this, in 16th position and had a spin and is looking at maybe second.
Whew. This has just turned into something wild. We were confused as to whether Fassbender would have to pit twice when he came in, or whether he'd go the soft for a 3-setter soft run. He probably could have done it based on the pace that he's got, but he's somehow made these tyres last. He's the only one that's made the softs last a great amount of time. We're probably going to see it again from Vaughan as well. Connor Pooler, remember, he's on slightly fresher tyres, but he hasn't been able to make the tyres last anywhere near as long. Have a look at the gap now, it's down to nothing.
Yeah, it's down to a second, and all of a sudden Connor Pooler finds himself in the ringer. He
green
will
light on the
know
dash.
that Marcel Fassbender's closing. Look at that, 1 light on the dash. There'll be 4 now as he gets the DRS flap open. He won't be close enough here to make the most of it as that dirty rear wing rears open, but look at how he closed under braking. He is right there, and there's traffic in front in the form of Kamire and Morichon.
Traffic in a way could help Connor Pooler because he might get DRS as well to be able to save himself, but he's not going to get it for 6.5 laps, is he? He's really on struggle street now as Connor Pooler. Remember, he's still got 7 more laps. That'll give him to 25. His first set of softs only went 18 laps, so he's really, really, really in trouble. I don't see how he can stay on the podium.
I think it's going to be tough, and he's going to need to put his best blocking boots on if he wants to go and make that happen. Takes the wider line, trying to open up as much as he can here through the Lycée section and through this final chicane. He's got to really open up every corner now.
He's going to have to really get the elbows out, defend for all his might, try as hard as he can to hold on to this spot. Timothy Vaughan, I think Vaughan is just content to watch these two. I don't think he's stressed about getting close enough to get the pass done. I'm wondering if he's feeling there's going to be some contact potentially between these guys. He's giving himself some space just in case that happens. Fassbender's nearly there now.
And on top of that, there is also Nico Veyrinen. But here is Marcel Fassbender trying to find an angle. He looks to the inside. He makes himself wide in the mirrors through the Nürburgring chicane, knowing he can't make that pass and he can't get it done. Opening a wide line through 180 because he wanted to drive off the exit. He's not going to get it.
I think he's content to sit in behind. The DRS light will come on around here. There through the exit of turn 12. 13. Now, DRS, bang, opens up. Here we go. It's just going to keep him close enough for the next DRS activation point. Have a look at how much more aggressive he is.
Very shallow through the corner. He's lucky he got that turn, and he is pretty much trying to find a striking point at every single stage. Timothy Vaughan looming in the background, wants to get in on this as well. But again, Connor Pooler just has enough through the dirty air effect, through the turbulences to get through. This a car so reliant on its ground effect. Here comes Marcel looking. It'll have to be the outside if he wants to get this done. Connor Pooler will try and match him on the brakes. Half a car in front is Marcel Fassbender. He'll get drive as well. Yes, he slides the wheels though backwards. Pooler gets a run as they go pretty much wheel to wheel. They almost interlock. Pooler holds.
Oh, you feel like this is a case of when, not if, this pass is made now. Pooler is going to try and hold on for 4.5 laps. I guess the positive to take away is there's only 9 real overtaking places left in the race. But is he going to be able to hold on for all of them? Fassbender not close enough yet. I tell you what, Timothy Vaughan now starting to stick his nose in here, and I don't think the other two want that at all.
And Connor Pooler's only lapping as quick as the cars in front. That is huge. He's not catching that group, and he is really looking backwards in the mirrors. This group is being held up as they go through the Lycée chicane to end the lap, and there's a little bit of gap opened up for Marcel Fassbender, which means now Timothy Vaughan might get the double slingshot here through Estoril, but he'll get a copious amount of dirty air. Now he'll really need to set this up then as they run through Golf towards then this next section. Pooler again will have to defend then on that inside line. Fassbender a lot further along this time as he hits the brakes. Straight on will go Timothy Vaughan. Round goes Fassbender into second.
Wow, and Vaughan nearly ended the race of all three there. He did a very, very good job to avoid contact, but that was so close. And Vaughan! Yep.
Nothing he can do about that. He'll have to serve the penalty to slow it down, and he'll get himself back going again, but that costs him crucial time.
Yep, it's cost him about 1.5 seconds. But that's helped Marcel Fassbender so much. Probably helped Fassbender more than it's hurt Timothy Vaughan. Vaughan still could get a podium out of this. Connor Pooler, he's now nowhere near close enough to be able to get that move back, and I don't think he's got the confidence in the car either. Jacob Reed started his 68th lap of this race, and he's flying away.
He started it about 25 seconds ago. He has been absolutely flying. Out of the way of everyone goes Florian Kamire. He plays the game as lap traffic. Morichon and Nico Veiranen will both have to cede their positions, but they're in their own battle and they are allowed to, they are entitled to. There's the DRS then for one Mr. Timothy Vaughan. Can he find an angle on the brakes here? Down at the chicane! Round he goes, but he can't capitalise. He wasn't expecting it. Vaughan got spooked.
Well, he sort of was across the track. I don't think Vaughan knew where to go and decided he'd better just pull up just in case, but we've seen that already from Pooler, and he struggled for pace. His tyres were cooked. Took him a couple of laps to find momentum back. I don't know if he can this time. Pooler is struggling. This is by far the longest that he's had to run on these sets of tyres, and he is not coping too well.
He is not at all through towards Chateau d'Eau. He will come along. You look at Connor Pooler. He's had back-to-back thirds at Zandvoort and Monza, but now open it out off of the exit then as they now drive down the hill. That's Nico Veiranen they've gone through. Pooler gets a small piece of respite then for the final spot on the podium, but he's not safe yet. We're at 2 laps to go. A couple of popsicle sticks remain, and it is all about, can Vaughan find the pass?
I think he can find the pass, but I think the issue is, will he be able to hold the position? Will he be able to hold on once he gets...
Oh, this is like taking candy. This is like taking candy.
Easy.
Look at this. He's got a full car length here. Connor Pooler's going to have to send that one up the inside and deep. Almost collect tyre to tyre. Vaughan's going to have drive off the exit. Beautiful overtake. He's got the last spot on the podium with 2 to go.
What a beautiful move there for Timothy Vaughan. Did a great job of getting the position. It took him, what, 7 or 8 laps to finally get a spot after closing and closing and closing. Now he's there, 2 to go, 1.5 to go even. Done a great job as just crossing the line now to start the final lap is Jacob Reed. What a drive it's been from him. Kent Nielsen in the pits. He's received a black flag for exceeding the iRacing incident limit.
It's a heavy penalty to pay if you do that, and he will be in a world of hurt. On this last lap, you've got Jacob Reed who leads this race, and this is important to go look at it because that is Anthony Catt in front of him, one of his main challengers in terms of the SimSpeed Championship. He is about to put an entire lap on him today as Catt's strategy simply has backfired like a cat on a hot tin roof. For Jacob Reed, this is a level of dominance that is seldom seen in racing, and in fact, he goes backwards and lets Thomas Knoll have a chance to race him for 1 extra lap. Now that is sporting from Jacob Reed, who knew that he had a massive gap to work with in terms of this race. He has been so dominant in terms of what he's done over his last 6 starts. It will be 5 race wins and a second. This has been incredible. And there is Connor Pooler back through on Timothy Vaughan. There is Jacob Reed, nigh on, unstoppable, as he wins at Magny Cours. We go back for 3rd because Vaughan has lost out to Connor Pooler. Chateau d'Eau, he now finds, and this is going to have to be a send from Vaughan, but Pooler has pulled the rabbit out the hat.
How did he get through? I can't believe I saw it on the timing. I saw that the change of position was potentially going to happen. Marcel Fassbender somehow gets a second, and Connor Pooler, we said it was one of his best drives, even regardless of where he finished. Well, he's ended up with a podium, and well-deserved one.
He has pulled an absolute worldie of a pass. We're going to have to get a replay of it because it starts at Adelaide. It finishes down at 180 left. It is simply put the pass of the race, and we had an incredible style move around the outside, which got that sorted from Morgan Soam. But let's have a look at this then. On the brakes, look, he gets really close, and there is a mistake there, a slight mistake from Timothy Vaughan that opens up that section. I wonder how much he used of his tyres to go through, but watch this through Nürburgring. This is simply commitment by Connor Pooler. Opens it up, gets to the inside, throws an almighty haymaker, and down goes Vaughan.
Wow. I just seen Marcel Fassbender in the InSim chat. This feels like a win. And you know that you've worked hard when you finish P2 and you battled for P2 and it feels like a win. I think that sums it up pretty well. What a drive from Fassbender. What a drive from Jacob Reed, Timothy Vaughan, Connor Pooler, all those 4. Thumbs up to all of them. That was brilliant from all of them.
It was a long race here today. 1 hour, 31 minutes and 4 seconds. Jacob Reed is putting on a clinic in these races. It's his 5th race win in the last 7 iRacing Grand Prix Tour starts that have been seen so far. His 5th win in his 6th start, and he wins by 22 seconds, a full pit stop over Marcel Fassbender in 2nd position, which will for him feel like a victory, because my goodness, to start 16th and spin and still get 2nd, he absolutely could have fought Jacob Reed for the race win here today. Connor Pooler will get his 3rd podium of the season and his third place of the season. That will push him up inside the top 10 of the SimSpeed Championship standings with that result, as Timothy Vaughan will finish off in 4th position, cruelly denied that podium after what was an incredible move on the last lap. Walter Lux would finish a very respectable 5th place ahead of Tobias Saal in 6th, with Eduardo Radice in 7th, and Anthony Catt, strategy not correct today, but 8th place it would be. Still was able to hold off Thomas Knoll, and that battle allowed by Jacob Reed heading towards the final lap of that race. Kent Nielsen, with the penalty, would still manage to finish off in 10th place. Over the page then, drivers a lap down included Alexi Morichon and Florian Kamai, who had the scare of the race, and he just about managed to avoid it. He will count his lucky stars. Nico Veiranen would be 13th ahead of William Morris, with Jordan Gronkowski back in 15th position. That a kick in the teeth for the former championship leader of the SimSpeed Championship. Retirees included Morgan Soam, Aaron Barter, Jason Green, and Dan Piazza. Piazza's incident afforded collection with Marcel Fassbender, and as such, that first incident set off the chain reaction for racing at the Circuit de Nevers Magny Cours. But this is the Marmite, the Vegemite circuit of all circuits. You either love it or hate it here at Circuit of the Americas, and it's truly an important roadblock on the test of becoming the iRacing Grand Prix Tour champion.
It's a track that we always seem to talk about more for whether you love or hate it than the actual track itself, isn't it? Because it does polarize people so much. One thing we do know is it does provide good racing in these cars. Not many other cars, but in these cars it does. There we go, controversial take. I am looking forward to it though, and it's going to be very, very interesting considering how close we are to the end of the season. Get a bit better look at how the championship's playing out. 5 races to go. Not far off those drop rounds really coming into effect too in regards to the iRacing Championship. Bring it on, 2 weeks' time.
The only place you can catch that is with us here at SimSpeed TV. If you haven't had the chance already, like, share, and subscribe for more amazing action brought to you through all the various series that comes through. The iRacing Grand Prix Tour is a spectacle. It has been time and again. The Circuit de Nevers Magny Cours has proven itself to be an important last leg of the European style tour of this season, but it's all Americas from here on out to the end of the season, and there are a lot of places where those points could come in handy. Jacob Reed is on another level, and it proves it so when he's finding so much trouble in terms of getting a great result in the Grand Prix Turn Racing iRacing series, but is masterminding everything here. This is where he has found his niche, and he has single-handedly spearheaded himself to a SimSpeed Championship lead. Marcel Fassbender will feel like his iRacing Championship is in the back pocket after a result like that, but everything will still need to be decided through 5 races, and we head where everything is bigger. Austin, Texas. We'll see you there at Circuit of the Americas.